Anywho, I don't really know what I'm doing. Hold on. Hi, my name is Uramus. This is Cooking Up Crime, where I talk about true crime and eat various foods. Today, I have yogurt like I always do. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the food isn't really like the purpose of this. We're really just talking about crime, and I eat just to keep myself busy. Because that's what I do. This week we're talking about Patty White and Michele O'Dowd. O'Dowd. O''D. I feel bad pronouncing her name wrong because she's the victim in this crime. And she got like the short end of the stick in this little saga. And I feel bad pronouncing her name wrong, but I have no idea how to say it. I'm so sorry. But anyway, this is another installment in our little like Christmas story thing, Bobbin. Because Christmas, as of, what is today? Today's something. I think it's the 18th. I have no idea. Christmas hasn't happened yet. It's in 6 days. So, we're still in the Christmas spirit, people. What am I saying? Michele O'Dowd was born on February 20th in 1944. She was 67 years old at the time, living in Jacksonville, Florida, by herself and her dog. She was born a twin. She had a twin brother named Phil. I don't know how to pronounce her maiden name either. It's like Axt, A-X-T. I think it's just Axt. I have no idea. They were twins and they loved each other. Phil loved his sister. I remember reading that whenever they would have like a family gathering or whatever, he would tell like her kids to watch and take care of his sister for him. I mean, it's just so sweet. Like they were like besties, you know? The two were born in New Jersey to Philip and Margaret Axt, and the pair had an older sister, Patricia, and a younger brother, Tony. I couldn't find like any information on them. There's not a lot of information on this case, period. So this will be like a short one, but it's so strange all the same. I have a fire going on my computer right here because I think that the light brings a bit of life to these videos. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, she went to the Moravian Seminary, school for girls, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then she attended the Virginia Intermont College in Bristol, Virginia. I don't know if the Intermont College is like an actual college or not. Like, is it like a 4-year university or is it like a community college? I'm not that sure. I say that because she ended up becoming a lab technician, and I just feel like a 4-year university wouldn't really do a lab technician certification. That's more like a community college thing. Teaches them. And she was a lab technician for 30 years. I can't imagine being anything for 30 years other than alive. So, she eventually became the supervisor at the Good Samaritan Hospital in Suffern, New York. Never heard of that place. Sounds interesting. Suffern. Like fern. And suffer. Okay. In 2003, she suffered a bit of a heartache. Her son died on February 17th. He was just 29 years old. And that was her only kid. And I just imagine how heartbreaking that is. Because, like, I'm my mom's only kid, and if I died, she would have lost her mom. My mom would have, like, ceased to exist. So, kudos to Michele. I don't know what is going on with her husband, her lover. Her last name is O'Dowd, so I'm assuming she got married. I have no idea what happened to her husband. I don't know his first name. Could not tell you. Or wife. We don't discriminate. So, she then moved to Jacksonville, Florida to be closer to her family. Because that's like where Phil lived, you know what I'm saying? And she retired. And she ended up going to work for her twin brother. Because retirement just wasn't for her. And it's like, I understand. Because I don't feel like if I ever live to be 60 years old, like, retirement's not for me. Like, at no point that I'm gonna be taking a break, you know? She worked for her brother as the head of the accounts receivable and collections department of his little company. Her dog's name was Max. I forgot to say that. But not really important to the overall story, I guess. Except everyone loves a good dog, you know? I have no idea what her brother did and what his company entailed. But they seem to be doing pretty well for each other. On December 2nd of 2011, Michele was 67 years old. She didn't show up for work that day. And her brother Phil thought that was odd because Michele liked to work. She didn't stay in retirement for very long. She enjoyed working. So he was like, what's the hubbub? He goes to her house. I believe she lived in a condo. Just from like the way it was described, it seemed to be more of like a condo townhouse situation. And her front door was unlocked. And all the chairs and tables in her house were like flipped over. This was suspicious because, besides the obvious, Matthew, it's weird because her cat and her dog were still home. I only read a couple, like one article said that she only had a dog, another article said she had a cat and a dog. It's not that important to the story, but I'm saying it now. Phil said that her cat and dog were still in the house. But all I know is that she has a dog named Max. Maybe the cat's also named Max. I don't know. I have a friend that names literally everything Gerald, and I have my sister-in-law who names everything Cat. So, it's possible her cat was also named Max, you know what I'm saying? So, we don't discriminate. So, basically, Phil makes his way to the back of that house where the bedroom is. and he was like, something just feels off about this whole situation. Something about the door being unlocked, everything being like just from, like it just feels off because he's reading the room. You know what I'm saying? He notices that all of the presents that Michele had bought for her family were sitting on the bed. And he was like, I don't know what he said, but if I walked in and everyone had their presents on the bed, I'd be like, that's freaking weird. You don't just like sleep there? I'm confused. All my presents are on the floor of my kitchen. So anyway, I feel like that's freaking weird. And I would have been like, what is happening? But I had to adjust you. I don't really know why the last time I filmed, it was fine, and then now it's not. I have no idea. I'm sitting the dumb same. I have the same exact chair on. I still have scoliosis. So like I'm still like, everything's pretty much the same. I don't know why you're different. It's really frustrating. Moving on. So he sees the presents. They're like in his peripheral, and he's like, what is that? That's so weird. In my peripheral. And he glances over, and it's a foot. And I'm assuming he was like, that's not normal. A foot. Who gives that for a Christmas present? So then he goes over, and he like throws all the presents away. And there he finds his twin sister, Michele, dead. She's been beaten and strangled, and she has a towel over her face, and there's a vodka bottle nearby. That was just planted. The police decided that that was just planted. And I would like to put that out there right now because she was not a drunk. Michele was a nice lady. Not to say that drunks aren't nice people, but you know what I mean. Phil said, quote, how can you be so sick to bury the victim with children's gifts? They were for her nieces, nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews. As far as I know, I don't think she had any grandchildren because her son had died at an early age. She might have, so put that up in the ether. Someone had reported that they had spoken to Michele the night before her death, and she was not alone in her apartment, house, condo thing. She had a family friend over. This family friend was Patty White. Patty White is a suspicious being. And Patty White is a complete waste of space. Patty White's over here taking up this airtime of this YouTube video because she's just dumb. Anyway, moving on. Lieutenant Rich Caddell, C-A-D-D-E-L-L. Caddell, whatever. He was assigned to the case, and he said the case was moving rather quickly. There's a lot of like gray area to this case, but this is the timeline that we have pieced, I haven't done anything, but that the police have pieced together. They think, first of all, Patty White was 40 years old. She was related to the family because she had dated Michele's niece. She had dated Michele's nephew. Not niece. Patty was living in Florida for a little bit, and then she decided for whatever reason to move back to North Carolina where she was from. But then she takes a special trip back to Jacksonville, Florida to rob Michele. And police think that something went wrong in the robbery and she felt like she was forced to kill Michele. In between, Phil calling the police and like them finding Patty, Phil had said that he felt like Patty was involved some type of way, and so he had the police look for her when they had discovered that Michele had 2 missing debit cards or credit cards. Some sources said debit, some said credits. It could have been one of each, I have no idea. But plastic you pay it with. 2 of those are missing. But then police found Patty's face in the footage withdrawing money from an ATM. Patty, after withdrawing the money, hightailed it back to North Carolina, where she was pulled over and arrested with her mom. Basically, her mom was driving. I don't know if the police were looking for the specific car Patty was in, or if it was just a coincidence they happened to pull her over. I think it's freaking funny if they just happened to pull her over for like speeding, and they were like, oh, we're looking for you. Yeah, here you are. God works in mysterious ways. After a little bit, she confessed to the crime. I've moved you once again. So sorry. Complete waste of space. The pimple on the face of the earth. She was such a delinquent. She couldn't keep a job. According to Phil, Patty could not keep a job. She was good for nothing. A waste of space. I don't know what kind of relationship they had. I don't know if like Michele was just nice or like what exactly was happening with like Michele and Patty. Like maybe she thought of Patty as like a daughter or something like that. I have no idea. But Michele felt like she had to be really nice to Patty. Or maybe she was just a nice person in general, but it just seems a bit odd because Patty would do odd jobs around the house for Michele and make money that way. And at some point, Patty lived with Michele for a whole month, rent-free. And during that month, Patty would use Michelle's debit card to go buy them groceries. And that's how Patty knew the debit card PIN number, because Michele gave it to her. She was like, you have to go buy me groceries because I'm old and feeble and I don't want to go to the grocery store. Patty's clothes and the car that she was driving when she got arrested were taken in as evidence. There's really nothing on this case because I don't think anything came from that. I couldn't find anything that came from that. I tried looking up records, tried looking up the police records. Nothing really said anything about the evidence, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's like circumstantial evidence and a confession. Like that works hand in hand. So I'm assuming that that was good to go. Michele was known to family and friends as Aunt Mickey, and she was noted as being, quote, the most sweetest, kindest person who would never hurt a fly. Her funeral was on January 28th of 2012, which was like 5 days after my 15th birthday. I always feel weird when things happen on my birthday. It makes me feel weird. Now get this, because like we said before, in many of these cases, people are dumb. General population probably should be arrested and like put into like an island where they can't do anything. And neighbors were called, hearing Michele scream and hearing screams coming from Michele's apartment, condo, house thing. No one called the police. Why? Who's stealing the raisins off the dumb Lawson's Mary Marie's cake? You know, these people, those, so freaking stupid, just aggravating. Anyway, so I'm just mad. You hear someone screaming, you call the police. I don't care if it's 7 a.m. I don't care if you'd rather be sleeping. I don't care if you're doing homework. I don't care if you literally are constipated and you're like lying in your deathbed. You call the police. So aggravating. Teach your dog how to dial the phone. Do something. Tell your children. We learned about this thing in my psychology class. This is just a footnote, but it's called the bystander effect, and it's like feeling like the responsibility of the situation is not falling on you. It falls on somebody else, basically. And like you don't have to do anything because somebody else will. That's not real. Take action. It's better for the police to receive 10 calls than to not receive any. Michele could still be here. See what I'm saying? They could have maybe have saved Michele. Michele was sentenced in 2013 to 45 years in prison for second-degree murder after her confession. I don't think she has parole at all, because I think murder, you don't get parole. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. My stomach just made a noise. Did you hear that? But yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you like these Christmas cases, let me know. If you want me to do it next year, let me know, because I'm not going to waste my time looking up Christmas cases if y'all don't care. I have to figure out a place to put like my little crow thing. Can you fit right there? Yeah. Can you even see him? Yeah, my crow's gonna stay right there. I'll put the link to Panda Pop Studios in the link in the description box below. I will put a link to my music so you can hear that at the end. The song that plays in the credits, not the credits, but like the little last segment. The song that plays at the end of my videos is my song. So if you want to listen to more, link to that will be in the description box below. I can't speak. I can't say anything. I finished my yogurt. Had a wooden spoon. I'm afraid it's gonna give me a splinter. If you have a case I'm gonna cover, please let me know. We're gonna get to it after the Christmas season, and then we're gonna figure it out from there. But anyway, have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
I want you to forget your past lives and find me the new Christ. I want your heart to melt like ice in the midst of July.